Hello fellow Earthlings, it's Libs, and today I'm going to be sharing some of the most beautiful books that I own. So we are finally out of lockdown. I'm not feeling inspired at all for anything. So I'm filming another video at the moment, but it's so similar to the last video that I put up while we were in lockdown that I kind of don't want to put them up back to back. So I was trying to think of what I could film instead. And I don't know, I just kind of thought, I felt like just talking about books. I didn't really feel like doing a book haul or anything at the moment when most of my country is still in lockdown. So I kind of thought I might just go through some of the most beautiful books I own because looking at them makes me happy, and I feel like being happy at the moment. So the first book I want to show you is The Binding by Bridget Collins. This has a lovely cover. I don't actually know anything about this book at all. You'll be seeing it in a video I've just started filming at some point in the future. It's probably going to be a few months away, honestly. But I don't know, I think this is just such a lovely cover, and I'm quite excited to read this one.
5 minutes later.
Emmett Farmer is a binder's apprentice. His job is to handcraft beautiful books and within each to capture something unique and extraordinary, a memory. If you have something you want to forget or a secret to hide, he can bind it, and you will never have to remember the pain it caused. In a vault under his mentor's workshop, row upon row of books and secrets are meticulously stored and recorded. Then one day Emmett makes an astonishing discovery. One of the volumes has his name on it. So that does sound very interesting. I'm keen to get around to reading this at some point soon. And yeah, pretty cover. This next one is it's definitely one of my favourite covers of all time, and that is the Bloomsbury Modern Classics edition of Restless Fight, William Boyd. I very distinctly refused to get any other copy of this book, which is annoying because I kept finding different editions in charity shops for like $3. I couldn't do it because I don't like any of the other covers, but this one just, it brings me so much joy, and it just looks like, I don't know, a film noir poster, and I love it. I love it. I saw the I think there was like a mini series made out of this with Hayley Atwell that I watched a few years ago, and I really enjoyed it, and I really wanted to read the book ever since. I'm just trying to decide when I should read it because I think I'm just kind of putting it off now because I'm very keen to read it, which is a very bad habit of mine. But I mean, look at this. It's just, I love these book editions. I have 3 now, and I love them. Actually, I've got another one here I can show you. I wasn't planning on adding this one to the video, but you know what? I've got it in front of me, and that's The English Patient. And I mean, this cover's amazing too. I mean, there are quite a few books in this series. The other one I have is Song of Achilles, but I'm not quite sure where my copy is. But these covers are amazing. They feel really nice, and they're also like not expensive for a special edition, so they're great. Next, I have The Housekeeper and the Professor. This is one of the vintage Japanese books. It's so beautiful. I mean, just, oh, look at that. I haven't read this book yet. I'm saving it for another video. I'm so excited to read this one. I'm just so happy I got this cover as well. I'm hoping to collect all of the Japanese vintage editions because they are so amazing. I want to have them all displayed together. This is a book about a maths professor who suffers from severe memory loss, and the relationship he has with his housekeeper and the housekeeper's son, and how they manage to bond even though he can't really remember who she is. And yeah, I'm very excited to read this one. This next book is another one of my favorite covers of all time, and this is The Revolt by Clara de Pont-Monod. I mean, look at that. Look at that. So beautiful. I love this cover. I keep like leaving it out in my room on display because it's just so gorgeous. This is a story about Richard the Lionheart and his mother Eleanor of Aquitaine. So I'm already just excited based on like just knowing nothing else but that makes me want to read it. But then this cover, and this is translated from the French by Ruth Diver. I'm trying not to know too much about this book before I read it because I'm just very excited. Next, I have one of the vintage Virginia Woolf editions, and that is Orlando. I read Orlando quite recently. I'm trying to think if there's a video I can link to about it, but maybe not. This is the cover. It's beautiful. I didn't love this book. There's a lot of very interesting things, and I really enjoyed how poetic it was, but I did have quite a few issues with it. I'm still very keen to read Virginia Woolf's other work. I just think this one wasn't for me, but the cover is amazing, and again I want to collect all of this edition because it's gorgeous. Orlando is about this young man in the Elizabethan age who kind of stops aging, and one day he is no longer a he and he is suddenly a woman, and it's about their journey kind of up until like the 1920s, and it's very interesting. Again, there's a lot to love, but there's also a lot I didn't love about this book. Now I have my favourite editions of the Daphne du Maurier books, and it's these gorgeous hardcovers. I also have Frenchman's Creek. This one is Jamaica Inn. I have read Frenchman's Creek. I haven't read this one yet. I'm very keen to. Okay. These are just gorgeous editions. I would like to, once again, collect all of them. They are, I don't know, they are quite pricey editions, but I love them so much. I don't care. I bought this one secondhand from Bin Chicken, and it's beautiful, and I'm so excited to read it. I don't know what it's about really. I can't tell you, but I did really enjoy Frenchman's Creek, so I would recommend that one if you're looking for a really pretty book that's also like a romance adventure pirate story. It's really fun. I also have the Japanese vintage edition of the Windup Bird Chronicle by Murakami. I mean, look at that. Look at that cover. It's outstanding. It's so beautiful. I know what this book's about while also not really knowing what it's about. There's a guy whose cat disappears and then his wife disappears, then he's trying to find them and weird things happen. I'm scared to read this because it's thick. It's a thick book. And we know I tend to prefer short novels, so I'm gonna just need to find a time where I don't feel so intimidated. Oh, the font is tiny. It's quite small font, so I'm nervous, I'm excited. I know I just have to read it. I can't put it off forever, but I'm probably going to. Oh no. I have another very chunky book here, and this is the complete first edition, the original Folk and Fairy Tales of the Brothers Grimm, translated and edited by Zach Zipes. This is beautiful. This is such a gorgeous cover. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. There's not really anything fun on the back, but this is outstanding. So this is the Grimm's Fairy Tales, but it's the only English translation of the original collection. So the Brothers Grimm re-edited their work multiple times throughout their lives. So the fairy tales that are in most books are from their later editions, but there aren't any of these early editions. And these stories are more stripped down. There's also some stories that aren't in the other ones. There is generally a reason for it. These are a bit more gruesome. They're also, some of them have issues. These were written or collected in like the early 1800s, I think, and you can tell with some of the stories that that they're just very you don't want to read them. But I was very interested to actually see how the work's was edited throughout their lives, and it's just very interesting to have this and just to see like how they noticed their own problems in their own work and went about fixing it later on. So yeah, I've read some of them. I haven't read all of them because like there is a lot in here. But I would definitely recommend this if you're into fairy tales, if you're interested in this kind of thing and seeing, I don't know, the differences between their first editions and their later editions. So yeah. Now I have a book that I think may be one of my least favourite books of the year so far. I don't like this book. You all know what I'm going to say. You know, we've been here before. We know that I love the cover, really don't like the book. And that is Sorcerer to the Crown by Zencho. I don't even think you can get this edition anymore. But it's beautiful. I can't get rid of this book because of how beautiful it is, even though I never want to read this again, and I feel slightly mad whenever I look at it. But it's so beautiful. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I can't tell how serious this book's meant to be. Like, it kind of it feels quite satirical of the fantasy genre in many ways, but it doesn't really land if that's like the intent. It's that, I don't know, it's one of those things where perhaps like watching it would feel better and feel, I don't know, reading it, it made me roll my eyes so much. And it was just so all over the place, and so many random things were happening, and I just wasn't invested in any of it. And I don't know, reading it, I felt like it just needed more editing to get it to where it wanted to be. Because, I can't tell what the intent of this book was. And I don't think it worked on really any level. But, you know, some people do like this book, and if you're interested in reading a very wacky, kind of adventure-y, fantasy, kind of parody-y thing, you might really enjoy this. Fantasy's not really my genre anyway, and this just did not work for me. Now we have another book that you guys know. You guys know how I feel about this cover. I've made that very explicit in one of my previous videos, and that is Ariadne by Jennifer Sen. God, that noise scared me. Ariadne. I love this cover so much. Yeah, this is in my top 3. This is in my top 3 best covers ever. It's so beautiful. We all know how much I love reading Circe and how much I want to read just all other Greek myth retellings. That's not right. Myth retellings. So I was very keen to read this anyway, and as soon as I saw the cover, I went out and bought this the day it came out because it was definitely necessary, because it's so beautiful, and all the displays, or the bookshops had for this book were also incredible, and I'm just very excited to read it and just want to look at this cover forever. And the final book I have to show you is very, very beautiful, but it's a bit more understated. But I still love it a lot, and that is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. I mean, you can't not be captivated by this cover. I wasn't sure if I was going to buy this book, but the cover won. Also, if you see the actual hard back underneath, it's got looks like that, and it's gorgeous, and the end pages are also stunning. I have started reading this book. I just don't think when I started I was in the right, I don't know, I wasn't really in the mood for it, so I put it down. I still intend to read it. I just think I'm gonna wait a while before I try picking it up again, because I've heard excellent things about this book. It's just a very slow start, and that's not quite the reading mood I'm in at the moment. My neighbours can see me. I feel very uncomfortable right now. Okay, so those are the most beautiful books that I own. I have other really beautiful books as well, but I've talked about them quite a lot in previous videos. Particularly, I think I did like a gift guide for Christmas last year, and I talked about a lot of them then, so I didn't want to have too many repeats. But I can link that somewhere if that's something you're interested in. But anyway, those are the books. Like, subscribe if you want to see more of my chaotic, sleepy, but had a lot of caffeine energy. And I will see you next time. Bye.